Hello, Vibe Coders. Welcome to the next installment in our streaming series where we are creating the Context Bonsai plugin. We're currently tracking three different projects, the main one being the plugin, and the two side projects are there just so that we can observe the plugin in action and make sure it's operating the way we want it to. Let's get started. Okay, here is the image to maze side project. Yesterday we sent it off on a plan to create an inverted density. So here is the image we had yesterday. We were playing with a grayscale image, and it doesn't look great with this particular image, with the dense parts of the maze being on the darkest parts and the less dense parts being on the lighter parts. It just means that where there's less detail in the image, it has the most dense parts of the maze, and where there's more detailed parts of the image, where we actually need density to resolve details, is where the maze is lacking in details. So I think inverting the density for this image will work well. So we had the agent create a plan. Um, oh yeah, and actually I caught it doing the context bonsai yesterday. It decided to prune a completed segment from the previous rendering. Let's see. Yeah, it pruned from a conversation quite a while back where it created a plan the incorrect way, and I told it to use the proper document and create a new one. Let's see. Archived the completed segment where a new true wall geometry render plan was created. Oh, that was quite a while ago, where I tried to have it take the maze and make it look like corridors with walls. Um, Validated through subagent checks, orchestrated the dev review judge, and then tested with banana generation. Outcome substantial renderer changes landed, but the user later shifted focus to adding the invert density option for Poisson MST. Okay, cool. So yeah, it pruned away a lot and it brought our context window down to 39%. I think we were up in the close to 50% yesterday, maybe a little over. So that's cool. And then it orchestrated the task and completed it. So now I've had it create a new image, except it didn't do it. I wonder if it'll understand what I've asked it to do here. We might need to go through and consider all of the options that this tool has and limit them down. I am never just interested in getting a JSON out of this thing right now, but it keeps just generating a JSON when I ask for the maze. Okay, that looks more correct. Let's see what we have here. Oh no. That's pretty bad. I mean, it is more dense in these areas, but overall, there's still just not enough density. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. And the dense in the dark areas is too high. Okay. I'm going to have it read these images actually. Quick fix, increase the overall sample count. Reduce the dark area over compression. Use a higher mask threshold or disable invert density. No, don't disable. Okay. Um, and there. Okay, so I'm showing it the two images. I'm explaining that the light area has more detail and the dark area has less detail, so we want more density in the light area, less density in the dark area. Which means maybe we want to explore ways of rather than just choosing light or dark for the density, maybe look for uh, image detail, like look for local contrast areas. Okay, inversion fixed polarity direction, but the current mapping is too aggressive, so the result swings from too dense everywhere to too sparse overall. Keep invert density, then tune for higher global density, but still lower in the dark regions. The next step is a small sweep with lower radii and tighter range. Okay, let's go. All right, let's let that cook and check out the Context Bonsai project. What was it doing? Oh yeah. So I had it create a plan to remove one of the OpenCode features that we originally added and actually made use of in our plugin. But overall, it's not needed. I want to just make the plugin simpler and make the OpenCode changes simpler. So this plan strips the change out of OpenCode and pulls the change out of our plugin as well. So this is done and it's ready to execute, but I think I want to do it with two different agents because they're in different directories. Yeah, let's do that. Um, and I can't remember. Oh, the OpenCode. Okay, let's see if it understands what I meant by that. Oops. By the time I wrote that out, I should have just done it myself. I was thinking it would know where the directory was better than I was. It is looking at the right directory, so that's good. I hope it's not trying to like read this and just recreate the file over there. I think that's what it's trying to do. Okay, I'm just gonna stop it because it's probably gonna do the wrong thing. cp.agents plans. Oh shoot, I need the story dev rebase. Did I copy it? Oops. There we go. Put that in. OpenCode context management slash OpenCode. Okay, so I think that worked. Oh, no, that didn't work. Yeah, I should have. Okay, let's just go over there, OpenCode context. Okay. That's what I intended to do. Okay. And now I'm going to start a new OpenCode session to do that here. Oh. CP home slash projects. So it doesn't have the LLM conductor stuff here. And now it does. There. Oh. That's annoying. I can't highlight and cut it all out at once. Okay. Okay. So now this one is set to fix this OpenCode part, and this one can orchestrate the other story. Um, it says it's delegating. I'm a little bit concerned. Let's see if it did it correctly. Okay, it did. So it has launched a developer subagent. Oops. So this one's going to cook for a while. Let's go back to our image to maze project. And it's got our 3 images. Let's take a peek. Whoa. Do-do-do. Oh, I guess XDG open can't take multiple arguments, so there. Nope. It is doing more density on the lighter areas, but still the darker areas are not great. There really isn't. So part of the problem is I bet the tone values of this shaded part of the banana are very similar to where light is falling on the table here. Let's check it out. Um, what am I trying to do? Oh, projects and then image to maze. What is going on? Oh. And then samples and then the banana. Get this little eyedropper tool and let's take a peek here. Can I make this bigger? No. So 3D, 3D, 3D is where I picked there, and out here, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. There's 3, 3, 3. So looks like the banana goes down as low as 2. Maybe the freckles on the banana are lower. Nope, right around 2, 2, 2. Most of the grayish parts are the 3s. And on this table, 1s, 2s, 3s occasionally. Okay, so the banana is, for the most part, lighter than even the highest parts of the table, generally. Okay. Let's go back and talk to the thing about it. But let's also take a peek at these other images. That's still not good. And still not good. Okay, let's go to here and okay, so I've explained the tone mapping of the banana and asked it to make anything below 222 basically have no density. And to make the threshold between 333 and 222, well, I guess I didn't exactly say that. I just explained that the banana is 333, the table is 222. Oh yeah, figure out a threshold around there. Okay. Let's see what it says about that. Context Bonsai is still cooking. Okay, and here's our other side project. Let's see. We were trying to figure out this cursor blinking thing. It when Pi is in edit mode, or what is it called? Insert mode. We want the cursor to look like a bar instead of a block. The LLM implemented something to do that, but the Pi agent is not using normal hardware cursor rendering. It's overwriting that and drawing its own cursor. So all of the stuff that the LLM did has no effect. So we figured that out. We uh, asked the LLM to make a plan. Okay, so the plan is made. Um, let's see. Key resolved decisions now captured. Roll back the Vim editor. Yep. Implement mode cursor rendering via an editor level hook strategy, not brittle Vim editor post render rewriting. Good. Cursor visuals are rendered mode based and independent of show hardware. Oh. Cursor visuals are render mode based and independent of show hardware cursor. Keep story 10. Repeat semantics behavior intact while undoing the cursor style path. Okay, that all sounds correct. Okay, some more stuff. Added ran mandatory validation loops. Oh yeah, that's just telling me it went through the right process to create this plan. Okay. This looks like it's going to do the right thing. Yep, it launched a developer side agent. That's perfect. Okay, that's cooking. The OpenCode Context Bonsai plugin work is cooking. Oh yeah, we actually had two agents working. This one needs permissions. Okay, sure. I think I want to fix that problem. So I have like a top level agents.md that tells the agent to use the LLM conductor out of the normal place where I just keep that project. But OpenCode doesn't have a way to have directory specific permissions in the config file. So it has to ask every time it accesses there. What is it trying to do now? So it just popped up a password dialog for using uh, Git. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, continuing the thought, OpenCode, there's no way to just have a config file that explains that it's allowed to look in this other directory for these files. Also, in the past, I've tried using a symlink, and I think it didn't like that. I might try it again just to make sure, but I think um, when it tries to read the file, it gives the path like this without any like follow symlink, and it fails to find it. Actually, let's just go ahead and do a test because this keeps coming up where I send it off to do something and it launches a subagent and the subagent has to ask for permission, which halts progress. So um, let's just make a new directory somewhere. Oops. And first, let's create the symlink. Okay. Let's try to read through that symlink. Okay, it had no problem with that. Okay, symlink it is then. That's how I'll fix this and stuff. There's got to be some other agent I was using that can't. Kiro, CLI. Oops. Oh, Kiro. Well, oh, that's normal. Kiro's permissions don't even let it read files normally, I think. But I don't think that's related to the symlink. Quit. What else? Claude. Read. Oops. There we go. So, actually, I'm surprised that Claude is even asking permissions to read. Okay, let's try again, but with, well, that one shouldn't need permissions at all for anything. Claude does just fine. Huh. Codex? Codex is just fine. That's so strange. Okay, well, Symlinks it is then. That's what I'll try and set up every time I do this. Oh, um, I don't have a top level agent starting date. What? Hold on. Something is odd. Do you know what I mean if I ask you to orchestrate something? I think it is going to know because somewhere, right, so this is pointing it at the normal project location. Whatever context it is that is in there by default, I need to fix. Um, okay, that's where cloud.md is. Okay, let's fix that. Oops, I typoed it there. Okay, and it's that. Okay. Um, oh, what's going on with him? Oh, is caps lock on? That's what it was. Okay. No. Weird. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that's enough, and I don't need to also tell it to continue using that symlink instead of the original directory. Okay, that should be enough. There. Now hopefully that fixes some things. All right, our agent completed story 1, which is the one that modifies the plugin. Oh yeah, actually I was going to ask it about the plan. There was something in there. This canonical key explicit legacy list starts as that and can expand only with evidence. Okay. So it creates an empty list of legacy keys. Um, how do I explain? So one of the deals is in the Context Bonsai plugin, originally we modified OpenCode so that it would allow a plugin to modify fields on messages, but those fields had a prefix that was related to the plugin ID. That way, plugins don't step on each other and modify each other's fields. Um, and it was the OpenCode side that chose the plugin ID and prefixed the field. Now that we're removing this part of it, um, it was asking what it should do to migrate all of the existing sessions with the keys that were already used by, like, there's already sessions and it already has a plugin ID on all of those fields. And I suggested just hard code whatever it was using into the plugin so that you don't have to do a migration. So I'm surprised that this is coming up. So I'm going to ask it about that. Um, it claims that's what the policy is doing. Use the key it was using all along. Yeah, that's the archive key. So if canonical key equals that, legacy key list is empty. There's effectively no key migration path active now because we're still using the same key as before. Uh, oh, and I want to ask it if there's similar things added to the OpenCode side of the story. I am hoping not, because the plan was simply to just not support that plugin ID stuff. The OpenCode subagent is still doing its stuff, and this guy is um, doing the plan and guidance stuff where it's validating it with subagents. Let's go back to the image to maze guy. With the current Poisson code, the mask threshold keeps pixels where value is less than threshold, darker than the threshold. So it can't enforce below 222 has no density. It does the opposite selection-wise. So with today's behavior, we can only softly suppress very dark areas via invert density and larger radii. We cannot do a true hard cutoff at 222. To get exactly what you want, we need one small feature at a lower cutoff. Okay. Um, use planning guidance.md to make a plan for that. then orchestrate it only if the plan um, gets validated with no remaining issues. This is pretty cool. We have done a lot of stuff on one single session. We've done so much, and we're currently sitting at 41%. It's operating just fine. Um, it's not getting into the dumb zone. I think this seems like a really successful plugin. Oops. Right, this is what I wanted. Back to the Context Bonsai plugin. Okay, so it says the other story doesn't have a problem. That's good. Plugin side only cleanup. Great. This guy didn't follow the planning guidance because I interrupted it probably. Okay, I think it's picking up where it left off now. Now the OpenCode side of this is still doing stuff. Image to maze is still doing stuff. Okay, let's go check Pi project. Ooh, okay. And we might have to stop streaming because I think the OpenCode development is consuming memory and it's causing my whole system to get sluggish and the stream gets jittery when that happens. But the Pi agent is still going. Nothing to see there. And both of these agents are going, and the banana or the image to maze generator is going. All right, good place to stop the stream anyway. All right, thanks for joining. We'll continue where we left off tomorrow.